first lens is microeconomics,
Okay.
really price action. Historically, prices are determined by supply and demand curves intersecting. Higher prices, more supply. Lower prices, more demand. If higher prices result in more demand, resulting in higher prices, resulting in more demand, my argument is we have a bubble dynamic underway.
Yep.
That's lens one.
Okay.
Lens two is macroeconomics. Do we see signs of misallocated capital or excessive leverage? I don't think we really need much explanation because we've experienced that firsthand.
Yep.
Lens three, psychology. Are there signs of overconfidence, hubris, new era philosophies, thinking it's different this time?
Yep.
Really signs of conspicuous consumption, really overconfidence and hubris I think captures it. Lens four is political distortions. Do we have the government creating moral hazard? Are we playing a game of heads I win, tails you lose? Is it an uneven playing field? Are political motivations affecting supply, demand, or incentives via taxes, subsidies, ceilings, floors on prices, etc. And the last lens is really a biological lens. Here's sort of herd behavior. And what I'm looking for through the fifth lens is signs that a bubble is quote unquote long in the tooth. Are we in the later innings of the phenomenon? And here, amateur investor participation really is something that captures the fact that everyone's playing this game. There's not many new players to come.
Let's talk a bit more about China. So applying your lenses, is there a bubble perhaps in China?
Yeah, so the five lenses when applied to China don't look promising for the identification of China as not in a bubble.
Right.
Right, so it's a probabilistic exercise. We can't say for sure, but lens one, at least in the real estate markets, what we've seen is higher prices resulting in more demand, resulting in higher prices, resulting in more demand. So let's just say check. Lens two, if we see misallocated capital, and my argument is absolutely. We've heard of ghost cities, there are empty malls, there are all sorts of signs of excess capacity. I'm not suggesting China won't eventually use it. I'm just saying they've already built it. What will the demand be in the future as they need to have more supply? They've got so much excess supply that they'll just take some time to use it up. Lens three, conspicuous consumption, overconfidence, hubris. Art markets tell it all. I've already told you what happened with Sotheby's. There are wonderful examples of Chinese world record art price, or Chinese buyers paying world record prices in the art markets. By the way, interestingly enough, 2012 Chinese art auction values in aggregate down 50% from 2011 Chinese auction art values, or Chinese art auction values. It's happening. By the way, the higher number was associated with Sotheby's stock price being higher. Lens four, political manipulation. Centrally planned governments. Self-explanatory that in fact they are motivated by things other than economic analysis. And then lastly, herd behavior. I think looking at what the state-owned enterprises are doing in real estate tells you a large part of the story. Private developers have been squeezed out of land auctions in major cities and have been replaced by state-owned enterprises. Incidentally, those state-owned enterprises are funded by state-owned banks. State-owned banks that are funded by the state. And these state-owned enterprises are buying land from the state. Not a dynamic that gives me comfort. State lending to state, lending to state to buy from state.